Well, remember this. How do you keep all these millionaires motivated to stay on the farm? After all, who needs to work when you have more than enough dough to just play? Well, it turns out the Facebook IPO made a lot of people millionaires, and we warned you when they got the cash, there's a good chance they'd cash out. Well, now it's happening. One of the top guys announcing he's leaving the company this summer. Some are saying he could be the first of many big names to bolt. But Tom Belesis' company has almost $50 million invested in Facebook, and he says as long as Mark Zuckerberg is CEO, it's still a good investment, and so far Mark isn't going anywhere. With our other all-stars, Johnny Honig and Caroline Hellman. All right, so Tom, so far you're not worried about a potential brain drain.
No, I'm not. I mean, I don't think it comes as a surprise that Brett Taylor wanted to cash some of his stock. He probably made a few $100 million.
Well, that I can see, but then to leave is another thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's probably used to being his own boss, so he's probably going to father into another company by taking some of the profits he made on Facebook. And remember, he got grandfathered into Facebook by Facebook acquiring his company.
That's right.
So you never know, down the road, he may build another company that Facebook acquires as well. So I'm not
wouldn't
concerned.
That weigh on investors in Facebook saying, you know what? This could be just a paper-mache product when all's done.
Ultimately, no, I don't think so. I think this is just the beginning for a company like Facebook. Let's not forget, I mean, they connect almost 1 billion people throughout the world.
I think they make that figure up. No, right?
I don't.
Everyone accepts the 900 million figure. I think they make it up. I think it's 900 people who just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Jonathan, what do you think of that?
Well, Neil, I have to say I disagree. I mean, you're right. The gentleman did make a lot of money out of the Facebook IPO, but sounds like he's a builder. And, there's a lot of things that motivate entrepreneurs, one of which is money, but another is actually just building something new, creating a new endeavor.
No, I buy that, Jonathan. I agree with you. And I think those types, when they have the money, you can build somewhere else, they go elsewhere.
And if you think that Facebook is going to be adversely affected, Neil, it's interesting to note that the stock's actually up 3 days in a row, about 20% in just the last 2 weeks. So the stock's actually starting to recoup those IPO levels instead of falling new levels.
It's well below its offering price.
True.
Okay,
True.
Caroline?
Well, Neil, I think that there is no financial incentive to stay with the company because I do think that it is still highly overpriced in terms of user numbers, and also they can't figure out how to make their advertisements on smartphones profitable. And until they can do that, there's no incentive but to cash out at this point for the top executives. And you pointed out that this is the first of many. I know that's an inside rumor, but it's one that's been bouncing around enough to make it believable.
But Tom, you know market history better than a lot of folks. That happens in a lot of companies. It happened with Apple when it scored big. It happened with Microsoft. Sure. But enough big people stayed on. In Microsoft's case, obviously Bill Gates, that life went on. Right. You obviously think life goes on here, and the core is still going to stay loyal and still stay there?
I think it's just the beginning. I mean, I think over the next several years, you are going to see a company not only, get listed on the S&P 500, but also on a few other indexes, on top of the fact that their institutional sponsorship is only going to grow because of what they have to offer for the future. Let's not forget, Mark Zuckerberg is a brilliant guy, and he surrounds himself with terrific and very smart people, which is what's going to make the company to what it's going to be.
Exactly, Neil. I mean, this company has an extremely deep bench. And you know what? Executives leave all the time. Paul Allen left Microsoft back in 1983. It didn't mean that Microsoft's days were undered. And, executives are leaving. Great. Where are they going? Facebook, which I don't own the stock, but it's still the hottest company in Silicon Valley right now.
Even though now they're spying on you with facial recognition software. But, Caroline, you think that this is a worry. You just think these guys are whistling past the graveyard.
Well, in some sense, Neil, I mean, you pointed out earlier that this is the big joke, on the small-time investor, that it's the wealthy guys at the top, especially the institutional investors, even outside of Facebook, who got what appears to be inside information, who are going to cash out. And it's the little investor who really gets hurt in this proposition. And the fact that they allowed the IPO to have 25% instead of 15% little investors means that even more of them were hurt.
Well, we shall see. Professor, final word. I want to thank Jonathan and Tom. Always good seeing you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Well, do any of you recognize